Molly Mahoney here. She is the owner and founder of a very cool company called The Prepared Performer. I was going to say the wrong one. I was going to say your authentic leadership again. The Prepared Performer. And Molly is beloved by the digital marketer community. I'm actually surprised we haven't had you on more already, but we're fixing that starting today. So Molly, take it away.
Amazing. I'm just so grateful to be here. I love the digital marketer community as well. And I know may not know many of you. So if this is our first time meeting, I just want to give you a little warning that I am a past musical theater performer in another life. And so I do talk quickly. I do goof around a little bit. So we are going to have some fun today. And so that in case we have met before, I've spoken at Traffic and Conversion several times. I've been an MC at Traffic and Conversion as well, both in the room and also on the virtual stream. And I've been to the digital marketer headquarters, which was super fun. I presented there on ManyChat's behalf. So I'm really, really excited to be here with you. And I spoke several years ago in the DM Engage group about live video. And recently we've actually made a huge shift. As our company is called The Prepared Performer, we really started with the intention of helping business owners to be able to perform using the skills that I had as a musical theater performer and professionally in New York and all around the world. And what we've recognized is that I have this ability to take the things that are a little more techie and to fuse them with the more human side of things. So in about 2 years ago, when Jasper first came out, we launched a program called Dancing with Jarvis because it was called Jarvis back then. And the whole goal of it was to be able to take these tools and make them more like fun and playful and see, kind of like you guys have been doing already, how you can really act like this is your actual assistant and infuse this kind of human stuff into it. So it's been such an honor to be able to pop into these trainings. I have been mind blown, loving what has been happening here. I went to most of the session with Julie on Monday as well. So this is going to be a really great attachment to what Julie already set up for you. And it's going to be really awesome. I'm super happy to stop and answer questions as we go through. So I have that Q&A pulled up here. And my goal for you by the end of this session is that you'll be able to create a whole month's worth of content in under 2 hours. So if you would like to be able to do that, either for you or for your team, for your clients, that kind of thing, you are going to love this. You're going to get our whole system and we're going to get lots of it done together today. So with that in mind, I'm going to share my screen. Hooray. So good to be here. Oh my gosh. Okay. So the AI powered marketer is where we are. Right? And what we're going to do today is covering AI content creation for short form video, long form video, and so much more. And like I said earlier, my goal is that really you'll be able to create a month of content in under 2 hours, 2 hours tops. And what I see happening in the world of digital content is that in 2020, I don't know how you all felt, but we definitely felt like 2020 was actually a time that our business did super well, because finally, all that we were trying to convince the rest of the humans of, letting them know how much could be possible if they would embrace the idea of digital marketing, it was like this big old party. In 2021, it started to feel like this. I specialize in more social media type strategies, and these social media platforms were becoming overcrowded and frustrating. We were all tired of being inside, wanted to get back to real life, most of us anyway. And recently, what it has felt like is this. I don't know about you, but even before ChatGPT came out, in September, y'all, I have just finished 3 back-to-back events. So if I'm not speaking English, that's why. I just said September. In September at TNC, I heard so many people saying just more content, more content, more content, more content. That's how you get to the top of the newsfeed. That's how you'll get to the top of Google. And now with the new dawn of everything that's possible with ChatGPT and all of these tools, it's like so much content is being created. And so how do you make sure that you're creating content that stands out and that actually moves into a conversion? And so what I found is that we can get caught in this content creation trap. So watch out for these. The idea that more is more, because more is more. It's not necessarily more sales. It's really just more content. This idea of comparisonitis and seeing that, we see somebody else doing something and they're getting great numbers. on the vanity metric side, but we don't always know exactly what's happening behind the scenes. So making sure that we're optimizing for actual sales, for real results, this perfectionism thing and feeling like our content has to be perfect, the planning versus performing. So it's like planning out all of this content without actually showing up and putting it out there into the world. The shiny object syndrome. And I know this has been coming up for me a lot lately because there's so many new tools and they're so cool. And we're going to talk about the difference between these tools. And really, you've just got to decide, pick one and use it, right? All of these tools are going to have little tweaks that make them a little different, little nuances, but we want to make sure that we're actually putting the content out there. Also, we can get stuck in the social media scrolling and learning so much. One thing that I've loved about what's been happening here in this boot camp is that you're actually implementing. We're putting this stuff into action rather than just consuming. And then I just brought shiny object syndrome up again because it is the one thing that I think in this space can get us pulled off. So in this program, you have such amazing frameworks that are foundational. And so making sure that we're really sticking to the actual plan, right? And then engagement overload. So sometimes when you use the strategies that we're going to cover today, you will see that it unlocks the social media platforms in a way that is like, oh my gosh, now we have so many people to follow up with. One of the posts that we did recently brought in over 1,000 comments in just a few days. And it was like, okay, now what do I do? Right? So making sure that when you unlock this engagement, sometimes it feels like you've opened a bottle of social media champagne. We want to be able to put that champagne back in the bottle so we can continue to enjoy it and move people forward. Also, we spend a lot of time in the content creation world on creating free content, but making sure that that free content is moving toward an offer. And especially if you are an agency that's creating content for your clients, to make sure that, as you know, here in this world, we're moving them to actually buying something. Or conversely, focusing too much on selling. So if all of the content that you're creating is like buy, people get tired and overwhelmed and then they don't want to listen to you anymore. So it's finding that fine balance. And then if you watch the Oscars, you may know my most favorite movie probably of all time is Everything Everywhere All at Once. And did anybody see it? I want this to be a conversation. Did you guys see that movie? I love it so much. And while I would like to be everywhere all at once, that need to be everywhere all at once online can sometimes be a little overwhelming as well. So what we love to do is show up on all of these platforms and treat it kind of like both a parfait where we're rolling the content out through the different platforms, and also like we've created a party bus. So our email list is really our party bus. And then we can direct people to something cool that's happening on Instagram via email or text message. We can direct them to something cool that's happening over on LinkedIn. And then we pick up more people for our party when we're on LinkedIn, and we bring them back over to Facebook and we pick up more people for our party. So we're using these platforms in a way where we're actually in control. And, you know, with the lack of third-party data and all of that, we are really driving the bus and deciding where people are going to go. So, what is happening? I love these ideas that are showing up on the screen. It's so exciting. Okay, so the other thing is that it takes so much time. And as we know, this is one of the things that is really so magical about the power of AI. And I've been so excited to see more people taking this on as something they know that they can do and that all of us really can jump into. So what if we can make this little switch? At the Gen AI conference that happened in February on Valentine's Day, this concept was shared and I loved it so much. In the past, when we fell into the content creation trap, this is really what was happening. We had very little time for ideation, very little time for research, and loads of time was spent on the creation side. After we created that content, there was very little time for editing and very little time for distribution. Well, what I love about this, and we've already proven this in this program here too, with all the stuff that James and Scott and Mark and everybody have been sharing with us, we can spend more time on the ideation side. And this is just kind of me playing with the numbers here, but what if we took all of this time to really connect with our community and dream of these ideas, even using ChatGPT and all these other tools to kind of come up with these ideas, then moving into research to make sure that we're backing this up with real data, with statistics, things like that, lower time on the content creation, more time on the editing, and more time on the distribution. And I'm sure many of you have heard so many people saying, well, is this going to cause us to lose our jobs? And you've seen on these trainings that have been coming out here in this program that really that's not the case. We're being able to move people to jobs that are more like juicy, really. I loved what Julie had to say about this as well. So I just kind of want us to think about the fact that there's these other pieces where we can focus our attention on. It's not just about creating content so quickly and spitting it all out there. It's really allowing us to move, deeper into the ideation, the research, the editing, and the distribution. So I'm calling this the content creation flip. And what we're going to do today is we're going to look at how we can really systematically batch our content. Now, the system that I'm going to walk you through is something that we've been using for about two years now. And I love it because I can kind of let my brain go whoosh, just like, right? And then I can come back on the other side and use my decisiveness and really get in and edit things and pull out the things that are going to be really juicy. So what we're going to do today is we're going to set our list of our targets and our goals. We're going to go through a list of the tools that we'll be using today. We're going to dive into what I call the tree of beliefs. And the tree of beliefs is really a set of buying beliefs. I've talked with Rich Schefren a bunch about this. It kind of is like his ladder of inference. And it's really similar to some of the things that you guys have done on the brand messaging side already in this program, but this will give you a little fun spin on it. And it's so that you can sprinkle these seeds of beliefs around your communities to help people to really self-identify as an ideal client or go away if they're not an ideal client. And then we'll be moving into creating one-liner posts, one-liner graphics, which those one-liner graphics can be used as reels. They can be used as TikTok videos. They can be used as actual graphics. They can be used for stories, YouTube shorts, things like that. We're going to talk about creating, and I'm going to show you how to create engaging questions that you can use inside things like Facebook groups, on your LinkedIn profile, things like that. And there are specific questions that are matched to the buying beliefs, which is what makes this so powerful. Then we're going to move into short form video, long form video, and repurposing your video content. Now, this may seem impossible because it's a lot. However, we're using the magic of AI. So if you're ready, know that you have replay access so you can come back if I go a little too quickly. If you're ready, type ready in the chat. And we're going to dive into one little framework that I want to make you aware of before we actually start creating the content. I just want to make sure you know exactly how excited I am about this, because I know there's going to be at least one nugget that's going to earn you an extra, let's say $3,000 just because you showed up today. So get ready to take notes and grab that one nugget that you're going to put into action. I'll have an action plan for you at the end. But today, I just really want you to make sure that you're writing down your own action plan too, because I know you've gotten so many really cool things and I'm expecting to see you show your work. I love that show your work chat. So it's going to be good. I love Michelle. Did you hear that, Cecilia? We're all getting 3K today. Hello, it's true. Okay, so to create and repurpose short, long form videos with AI. Now, before we actually create this content, I am really big on the fact that your content needs to actually move toward a result. So I want to teach you this little concept that is called the social triangle. When you take this content and you actually share it, that's not enough. Just sharing content into the ethers it's not like if you share it, they will come. What we do is we actually build out this social triangle, and this social triangle unlocks two things. It unlocks the algorithm so that the right people will start to see your content. It also unlocks what we like to call, and I know Owen Video says this too, my brother, we like to call it the humanism. So I have a little bit of a lisp, so I capitalize it. I've had fake teeth since I was 12. So the humanism is where the other human beings in your community start to recognize, oh, I should pay attention to this. And just to shout out TNC again one more time, at Traffic and Conversion this last year, Ryan said something about how there's been this fear that with the recession, quote unquote, because who knows if there really is a recession or not, but there's been this fear that people aren't buying. And I loved what he said in the opening keynote, because he said, people are buying, they just seem to be taking a little bit longer. And this idea of the social triangle really helps to make sure that we're not losing people. We're not dropping them all off the party bus, right? This social triangle makes sure that we're staying connected with people. Those people who don't buy right away, we want to make sure that we're still nurturing them. And so what happens here is you have to actually show up on the social media platforms. Mark and I were joking about how up until last week, I was not very active on LinkedIn, and I'm actively working to get better there. My main platform still is Facebook, which brings us a lot of money and a lot of goodness. We do a lot on Instagram, and we're just now starting to really focus back on YouTube, which I used to do in the past, and more on LinkedIn and TikTok. But if I don't actually show up there, I'm not going to get results. Right? Now you can have team members show up for you, but you have to actually put something into the platform. That's like basic. We're just going to start with the basics. From there, you need to make sure that you go where your ideal clients are. And so that means that we are telling the algorithm, hey, I want to be connected to more people like this type of person. So we call this awareness playgrounds. This means that you could be jumping into Facebook groups. It means that you could be commenting on someone's posts on LinkedIn. It means that you could be watching for hashtags on LinkedIn and engaging there, right? It tells the algorithm to show more content like that to each other. And then it also tells the humanism, when you comment, they get notifications and they see, oh, this person is here. And sometimes we only think of this from a place of like an influencer or a personal brand. One example of this is there's a tiki company that I love. It's called the Tiki Land Trading Company. And I commented on a post of theirs on their Facebook page, and they messaged me, and it may have been a bot. I love messenger bots. It may have been a bot, but I think it was a human being who messaged me and said, hey, thanks for your comment. Did you know we have a Facebook group all around tiki mugs? And I was like, what? No, I didn't. Where's the Facebook group? And I was so grateful that they reached out and invited me to the next step. I now spend loads of money on tiki mugs. We even built a full content cabana in my garage that is all tiki themed. So it was a really great extra step for them to take that extra little moment to reach out and say, hey, did you know we have this Facebook group? So that's on the client side of things. And then the platform. And the platforms have told us they want what? More attention. We know that there's been some crazy things happening with Instagram where they, Meta focused all on reels. I mean, we had one reel back exactly almost a year ago. Last February, I did a 13-second video on my Facebook business page that reached 39 million. Facebook paid me $30,000 for that video, which I still think is bananas. Now, I didn't maintain that as my main strategy because I knew that I didn't just want to create viral content. I want to be actually talking to the human beings around that content and moving them into actual sales. And luckily, I didn't bank all of my content creation on Reels and like the monetization piece of it, because Facebook Meta just announced that they're canceling the Reels monetization program. So when these new things come out, it's really these tools trying to compete with each other and trying to pull attention. But we know now that they have said Reels aren't the thing anymore. Now they're opening up on Instagram. They realize they kind of jumped the shark. They want us to focus more on carousel posts, more on, actual content that we're sharing. So it's pretty interesting. Lauren, I love you. And I'm so glad that you're here in the chat. Hey girl, hey. Okay. So we've got to pay attention. What do these platforms actually want from us? And the more that we can keep more people on the platform longer with our content, the more our content will get more organic reach. So I wanted to go over this first before we actually move into the full system of creating the content, so we know that we're really positioning this content to perform as well as humanly possible. So from here, if you're thinking like, okay, that seemed kind of basic, I just want to let you know that there was this book that came out by Jay Abraham and Rich Schefren, and it's called Getting Everything You Can Out of All That's Hot Online, 7 High-Performing Ways to Drive More Profits, Positioning, and Possibility from Digital and Social Media. And there's all these fancy people like Russell Brunson, all these dudes. And then the 7th chapter is me, Molly Mahoney. That's my name. So if they understand that the social triangle right here, that's how we generate 100 or 300K per month from organic content. If they are saying it's powerful, don't skip that part. Because if you just use these AI tools to batch create content that isn't set up to actually lead to conversions, it's not going to work. So make sure we know that social triangle is really important. Okay, now it is time. Are you ready? I need to make sure everybody is fully with me. We are going to jump into this spreadsheet that is going to change your life. Are you fully ready? Everybody said ready before, but I want to make sure you're really ready. All right, so we got this spreadsheet. When you go to this spreadsheet, what's going to happen, second ready. what's going to happen here is we're going to go to DM batch. So it's molly.live/DM batch. This link will allow you to copy our spreadsheet into your own spreadsheet. So there's a couple of things that we'll be adding to this, and you'll be using this as your own content creation machine. It's so good. All right. So I'm in the middle here. The first thing that we're going to do, let me get back to the top of it. Sorry. Is these are the links that we'll be using today. Just some examples. These are not affiliate links. These are just regular links. And these are the tools that we're using mainly for our content creation. I may think of others as we're going through this, but today, I didn't even include ChatGPT on here. We're starting with ChatGPT. I know you all know where to go to get that. Okay. If you want to see an example of all of this put together, I created this example and it has some of the things on it, so you can go see how I actually use it in the future as well. But we're going to do it all together, so you'll see the example in real life. We're also going to use Jasper today. The things that we're going to do in Jasper, you can do with ChatGPT. There's just a few templates that work really well with this, so we'll do that. We're going to be using Canva today. We're going to be using Video. It's really cool. If we have time, we'll also jump into 11 Labs. And then we're not going to actually use any of these tools down here. Hello Woofy, SmarterQ, Metrical, and Descript. But these are tools that I'm using a lot with this system. They're for scheduling, and also Descript, I think you know, is just so great at transcribing and editing from the text of the video. The thing that's a little different today is we're going to let these tools actually pick which sections they'd like us to edit, like for us, which is super, super cool. Okay. Hooray. Amazing. All right. Okay. So everybody hopefully is here. What I'm going to show you on this first page, I just come back to it because sometimes we get so focused on the content creation that we forget that sales is our actual goal. And so what I've done, we're not going to go into this, but what I do for my clients is that we set our goal for each month ahead of time, right within our content creation spreadsheet, our content creation system. So we don't forget that's really the point of all this. The point is not just to have fun, because it is fun. We believe the more fun you have, the more money you'll make, but we want to track those actual dollars. So you can use this as a little, very simple tracking sheet of how many products, like what product you want to sell, how many units you'd like to sell, what you would love in booked revenue, what's your sales mechanism. So that could be a VSL, a masterclass, a webinar, or just talking to human beings, and then how many opt-ins or convos. And then you're going to set a target and an actual number. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. I would just be remiss if I didn't focus on the fact that this is all leading to actual sales. So if you got that, just type "got it" in the chat and we'll move on. All right. So what we're going to do is we are going to move into creating a whole month's worth of content. So the way that we're going to use this is, and I, just so you know, I pulled this from our community, from my actual membership. And you don't need to come on calls if you need help with this. I didn't catch that one, but go on to these calls here if you need more help. We're here together doing it. So I've tried to remove anything that's like gated. Everything here you guys get as a part of this. So what we're going to do is we're going to identify these 5 beliefs. The first belief is why me, and that's why this matters to your ideal client. So in the chat, just so that we really come back to that sales target piece, just type in the chat, what would you love to sell? What's one product or service that you would love to sell? So I have a mastermind. I'm going to type in the chat like this: Sales Stars, the dream. And I want this to be workshop style. So don't just sit here and listen like a lurker. Awesome. I love it. Ooh, an art retreat. How cool is that? SEO services, good. Remote staff, so good. Specialty grade coffee, give me more. Home organization services, client appointments. Okay, this is so good. I love it. So what you're going to do is you're going to write the first name of the ideal client who would purchase that from you. And I know in the trainings earlier, we did so much work on your ideal client. So this can be an actual human being, or it can be someone that you created in creating an ideal client avatar. So I'm going to write Sarah, just like that. Type that person's name in the chat. I want to make sure you're implementing. I decided this year I would teach at a high school 1 day a week because I'm totally cuckoo. I'm teaching a social media marketing class at a high school. So I'm really making sure no one's off playing other things, because they sometimes like to FaceTime people in the middle of class. It's been really fun though, and I'm learning a lot. Okay, great. So you're going to take this person. Now, we want to give, just for this exercise, we're going to give this person like a demographic. So you can say like an entrepreneur, or you can say like a busy mom, right? So give them some sort of label that we are going to be able to use with ChatGPT. And we're going to move that. So like reasons that Samantha, a busy entrepreneur who's looking to scale her whatever, like you're just going to say Samantha, a busy entrepreneur, something like that. And we're going to identify that too. And that's what we're going to put into this ideal client section. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at, why would this human being want your services, even if they didn't even know what your services were? So this is more on that unaware side of things. And I love that we've gone through all of this already. So you're prepped for this. What are the human reasons this person would want to buy? And we actually, for today, we're just going to use one target, but we have done this. Like what I like to do is create 3 ideal clients, and I create a tree of beliefs for each of them. For today, we're just going to use one to go through the exercise. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through and identify, why does it matter to them as a human being? Why does it matter for this exact program? And so the question for the human being we're going to ask is, create a list of personal reasons that this ideal client would have for wanting this result. Then we're going to move down and we're going to say, for the why this, create a list of reasons that an entrepreneur who wants this result would have for investing in this product or service. Then we're going to move down and we're going to go to the why you, and the why you is going to be around you as an actual person. And so if you have been using ChatGPT in the past to kind of get your brand messaging down, what you can do is you can actually feed that information into the chat ahead of time, and it'll be even juicier. If you haven't done that yet, we're just going to start right with this question. The next question for the why you, and we'll do this together. I'm just going to go over everything at once first. The next question is, create a list of reasons that an entrepreneur would have for joining or investing in a high ticket mastermind with Molly Mahoney and a bunch of people who believe the more fun you have, the more money you make. So if you have something that is your values or your mantra that you say, we're going to add that in to really identify why they would buy from you. And we're going to take some time to go through this in just a moment. The next thing that we're going to move to is why now. So that's like why in terms of the world and where they're at right now. Create a time-sensitive list of reasons that this ideal client would have for investing in this product or service. And if there's something that just came up, like in the world, you could say like, keep in mind, it's December, it's very cold outside, or keep in mind, the holidays are coming, right? You can add something that is why now focused in there. And then the final one that we're going to create is create a list of reasons that this ideal client who wants this desired results would not join or invest in this product or service. And so as we do this, if you have questions, make sure that you put them in the Q&A, and I'll keep an eye on those questions. But we're going to go all the way back to the top, and we're going to just copy this prompt, and we're going to open ChatGPT. And so my history is unavailable right now. I don't know if yours is, just kind of a bummer, because if you have that more, seasoned bot, or if you have information like that, you can start it that way. But we're going to show you that just right now, you don't even really need that. So what we're going to do is we're going to paste this, and you're going to fill in your ideal client. Now, if you already created a full ideal client avatar, you can actually start with that. And one thing that I love to do is this. Before I even move into adding these beliefs in here, I treat this like my real assistant, right? So like I said, I named my bot Bobby. So I'm going to say, hey, Bobby, right? And then I'm going to say, I'd like to create a list of buying beliefs. Can you help me? And then watch. Sure, I can help you create a list of buying beliefs, right? Oh, so sometimes it'll go into just like into something totally random, right? Sometimes I'll say, I'll share information about my ideal client, and then I'd like to create this list of buying beliefs. Can you help me today? Just to clarify, like, do they actually understand what's happening? So before I really move into anything, I like to really make sure, like, is it on the same page? So it kind of went a little rogue. Again, this is kind of dancing with the bot. So here I'm going to say, oh, watch, I can actually, I don't know if you know this, you can actually go back and edit. So I'm going to edit this, and I'm going to say, I will like, I'd like to create a list of buying beliefs, period. If I share more info about my ideal client and products. Can you help me? Okay, I'm going to save and submit, and it's going to rewrite it, which is so great. This is more of what I wanted. So sometimes when we're asking things, it goes like not in the direction that we want. So I come back, I adjust, and then we can recreate something. Now that information that it shared before may actually be really juicy, and I'll grab that and save it for later. So here, sure, I'd be happy to help you create a list of buying beliefs. Please share more information about your ideal client and the product so I can assist you below. Great. So here you can actually add in your company information. For today, just to like get to the part of the batch content creation, we're just going to jump right in, and we're going to paste that first prompt that I had for you. We're going to grab that. So I like to say thank you and be kind because it just shifts the energy of everything. And then I'm going to paste this, create a list of personal reasons that, and let's say I say Sarah, a business coach with 2 kiddos. I'm going to say kiddos because I want it to kind of pick up on my vibe already, right? A business coach with 2 kiddos would have for wanting to, and the basic result here. So in my mastermind, we do a lot of things, right? But the basic result is that they're going to grow their business. I'm not going to go into, like, even for SEO, if you offer SEO services, I wouldn't write SEO services here because I want this to be why me beliefs and a little more unaware. So look at the big transformation that you make for someone. If it's like, and if you're an art, if you're selling art, it would be like to have a more vibrant home or to feel more creative even. Like, what's the real transformation that you provide? And sometimes I will say, like, as you write these, act as a professional, marketing professional. Like I could do this here. Create a list of personal reasons that Sarah, a business coach with 2 kiddos, would have for wanting to grow her business. What is going on? That didn't let me type. How weird. Please act as if you are an experienced, I can't spell, marketer who knows how to tap deeply into the human, into human emotions. Right. So now I'm just going to send this here. Oh, the questions, y'all, the questions. I'm not going to look at the chat. Put the questions in the Q&A. Okay. I'm going to hit return here and we're going to see what happens. Here are some personal reasons that Sarah, a business coach with 2 kids, may have for wanting to grow her business: financial security, a sense of accomplishment, freedom and flexibility, helping others, setting an example, building a legacy. Okay. These are all separate from actually building a business, and they're tapping into more of that why me belief. Now, these are all really great beliefs that I could, grab. What I'm going to do for this, because we're going to create a longer piece of content each week. And each week, as we go through this month, we're going to focus just on one belief and then create a lot of content around that belief. So you could do this en masse with all of these beliefs. And that's what we do for our clients, is we'll take their whole tree of beliefs and we'll take that whole tree of beliefs and then we will write a bunch of content for them all at one time. For today, I just want to take, one belief from each of these. So go ahead and do this, see what you get. Let me know how it works. And then you're going to pick one of them. And I'm going to go with this one. And I'm going to bring it in here and I'm going to put it in here as a belief. Oops. Once you've done that, just type done in the chat. Great. Now, if you want to keep all of these, right, you can fill up the whole sheet. For right now, I'm just going to keep one from each of these. You could even go, like add another tab and add your whole entire tree here. So what's really cool about ChatGPT, and one of the things that I love with Jarvis as well, Jasper, what am I saying? I can copy the whole entire thing. And when I do this, it'll just, like if I write why me here, and it'll just paste all of them there, right? So I can start saving all of these in an extra spreadsheet if you want to. All right, we're going to grab the next one. And as you grab this next one, you're going to bring this over here. I'm going to say, thank you. That's great. I'll send you more information about Sarah next. I'm going to paste this here. Create a list of reasons for an ideal client. So this is Sarah. And it's going to start remembering who Sarah was. And you can even ask, watch this. Can we use Sarah? Did I spell that right? I want to make sure I did it right. Yep, with an H. Can we use Sarah as we move forward in this exercise? Sorry. Sure, you can use Sarah as an example as we move forward. Great. So now I know that it's on the same page. Sometimes people will say that you need to use like little code type signals to get it to pick up on it, but Bobby knows that Sarah's who we're talking about now. So I'm going to say, awesome, create a list of reasons that Sarah, and I don't even need to say who she is, like, so that Sarah, right? Who wants, I don't even need to say that, but who wants to grow her business, would have for investing in. Now I'm going to write here our program. So social sales stars, a high level business coaching mastermind. Now, again, if you had done a lot of the messaging work before, you can put that in here, but just to show you how easily this can work, you can copy and paste that if you want to, but I'm just going to write this here. And say here, absolutely, based on the information provided, she'd want expert guidance, networking opportunities, customized strategies, all of these things, accountability and support. So once you've done that one, just type done in the chat. Okay, now I want to take a little poll here. Do you want me to go through and show you how to create the rest of those beliefs, or are you good if we just take one of these and create all the content? So this is up to you guys. If you want to go through each belief, type belief in the chat. If you want to actually just get to the content creation part and like really, go deep into that side, say content in the chat. Great, perfect. That's what I was hoping you would say. Amazing. So you can continue to use this to pull out these beliefs or go through the beliefs that you guys identified earlier in the program, which has been super awesome, right? So if I go in here and I'm like networking opportunities, let's say this is a belief that I want to make sure that I'm establishing, right? I'm going to come in here and I can go here. I'm just going to do one more for myself. And I'm going to ask this last one and say, create a list of reasons that Sarah would not invest in that program just for myself, because I want to pull one of those. Awesome. And I could paste it, but I'm just going to type it. Can you please create a list of reasons she'd have for not investing in this program? And then it's going to give me a bunch of objections, which can work really well with this as well. So I'm just going to grab some of those. Okay. And these are all kind of basic, cost, time, skepticism, lack of trust, self-doubt. Awesome. So I'm going to go as self-doubt, and I'm going to grab that as my why not belief. And I'm just going to grab it here, and I'm going to put this into the chat because there's something a little different that we do with the why nots. All right. So you're going to fill this out. So you have a full little, tree of beliefs here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to move into the one-liners. So now things are going to start to get spicy. And what we're going to do is we're going to grab one of these beliefs. So just pick one of your beliefs. I'm going to actually go with this self-doubt belief, and I'm going to copy that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to open Jasper. So inside Jasper, we are going to open up the tweet machine. Okay. Now inside the tweet machine, you can actually create this inside ChatGPT as well by taking the template. I just find that what I get from the tweet machine works better for this than what I do in ChatGPT. So I'm going to show you what I do here. What is your tweet about? Oops, I am going to paste this belief inside the tweet machine. What is the template for the questions in the Q&A? But the tweet machine is inside Jasper. If you want to do this inside ChatGPT, you would ask it to create a list of very short social media posts based on this belief. That's what you would do in ChatGPT. But here in Jasper, this is what we're going to do. What is your tweet about? Self-doubt. And I'm going to adjust this a little bit. And I'm going to say what I want to instill as a belief. I want to squish this objection, right? So I'm going to say, my tweet is about the fact that self-doubt can frequently prevent us from hitting our goals. So I'm going to adjust this a little bit, and I'm going to say the tweet is about the fact that self-doubt and lack of confidence can often keep us from hitting our goals. It's important. So I'm just going to add a little bit more based on this belief. It's important to do the inner work and be surrounded by a supportive community to really achieve our dreams, or to build the business of your dreams, right? Because we're looking to her results. Build the business of your dreams. Okay. And each step of this is going to get deeper and deeper and more like mind-blowing. So in the tone of voice, you can add something like visceral emotional language, which is something that my friend Darby does a lot. I actually like to use this example that it gives us here, which is factual yet witty. I also sometimes like to use the voice hot mess mom. I did this. My dad has a tree trimming business, and there's some really cool photos of my husband with like a wood slab and a cowboy hat. So I did one in the voice of a cowboy for them that worked super, super well as well. And so what you're going to do is, when you do this, I like to set it to generate 3 separate outputs, and it's going to give me 30 one-liners that I'll be able to use in my social media content. Now, I'm going to show you while it's bringing this up, I'm going to show you an example of one place that I use this that worked pretty well. And once you've done that, just type done in the chat, and I'm going to show you what to do with it next. You can take that one-liner. I'm going to search my own Facebook profile for the word onion, because I did this around this idea that sending a cold DM with an offer isn't very effective. And this is what Jasper gave me. Now, I went through and added some emotions in. It said, little known fact, sending a cold DM to someone with an offer rather than getting to know them just a bit is like unlocking a car door with an onion. It might work, but it's unlikely. And then I like Shrek. And if you know Shrek, he talks about layers. At the end of it, I added, and yes, both have layers. So this turned into something that had, 66 people laugh at it, which, rather than focusing only on pain points, I love to focus on tickle points and ways to like talk to people, right? And then in the comments, I can then go talk to people. So I'm nurturing, I'm warming people up. We're being funny, whatever. You can also then take this, rather than just posting it here, and turn it into a graphic, right? So this can become a graphic as well. So what we're going to do with all of these, give me one possible scenario in which I can unlock a car door with an onion. Totally. If you use like a CNC machine, you could cut the key out. I don't know. It'd have to be a really, really raw onion. Okay. So in here, what we're going to get is all of these different tweets. So at this point, I do not judge. At this point, I am just sourcing information. I'm in the ideation stage. I'm not worrying about the actual editing or any of that. So we're going to kind of look at it together, but self-doubt and lack of confidence can be huge roadblocks to achieving your goals. Don't let them hold you back. That's kind of boring. Success takes courage, but so does having the confidence to overcome your doubts and trust yourself. That could be something, right? When it comes to achieving success, it's important to do the inner work and support yourself with a supportive community. Now I could take that tweet, that little one-liner, and I could pair that with a picture from the event that I had last week, or I could pair it with a picture of me at TNC, right? I can pair that with other things as well. So right now, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this. I kind of like to scroll through and see, are there any that kind of hit me? None of these seem as funny as I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this list, and all I'm going to do is come back here, go to my one-liners, and I'm going to use 2 different voices. Oops, I didn't copy it. Sorry. On this one-liner sheet, you see there's 2 different voices. So I'm going to grab these. Oh, I clicked document. Oh my gosh. Mahoney, what are you doing? Sorry. I clicked the document instead of the copy. So I'm going to copy these and I'm going to paste them right into this sheet. So by the end of this, we should have 30 tweets or 30 short little one-liners in this one section here, because it's giving me 10 for each. Then I'm going to go back. I'm going to use that same belief. And I'm going to do it with a different voice, right? Now, if you don't want 30 that are around self-doubt, what you're going to do is you're going to go back to your tree of beliefs and you're going to grab the next one. So I'm going to go here to networking opportunities, and I can literally just come in here and say the importance of networking to grow your business. Remember, I'm seeding the buying beliefs. I'm not getting deep into like changing things up. And then I'm going to move this into hot mess mom. And I'm just going to hit generate. So now I have a whole other list of beliefs of one-liners that are written in the voice of a hot mess mom. Oh, I have to go to new outputs. I'm in the history section. Okay, let's network, y'all. It's the key to success. Ain't no shame in networking. Just made some amazing new contacts. Networking is my jam, so come join me. I learned that networking isn't just about handing out business cards. It's about making meaningful connections that last, right? So some of these could be a great start. So I'm going to grab some of these. I'm just going to grab this one, and I'm just kind of sourcing information, right? I'm going to go back to my one-liners. I'm going to go to voice number 2, and then I can fill this out, right, with all of those. Let's say, do I have other voices on here? I think I just have 2 on here. We're just going to use 2 voices, right? Okay, I'm going to come back in here, and I'm actually going to mix up another voice in here. So I'm going to try this again, and I'm going to say cowboy. Watch what happens. The only one I've tried so far that really did not work well was I tried the voice of a tree, and it got very confusing. So here, it was really weird. But this one, so it's going to give me things from a cowboy, right? If you want your business to grow, you got to start networking, got to lasso in that opportunity, right? So it's going to give us some more fun, goofy things here. Don't wait in line for your luck. Gallop over and start networking. Now, again, don't edit these. Just put them into this sheet. Okay, who has another voice they want to try? They love. Anybody have a voice that they love here? Oh, you can do Trump's voice. Let's go for it. That's always entertaining. Or terrifying, depending on how you look at it. Here we are, right? Or inspirational, whatever's your jam. So we're here at the importance of networking to grow your business. That's actually a good one, right? Because he gets out of networks. So here, this is also potentially a polarizing voice to use on your streams. Okay. Success isn't what you know, it's also who you know. Some of these could be okay. Don't wait. When it comes to business growth, there's no substitute for good old-fashioned networking. Here, it's not enough to have a great business idea. Network to maximize success. Pave the way for this. Networking is key. Okay, so I'm just going to grab one of these. Not as funny as I would have thought they would be, but here we go. Now, one thing that comes up at this point, there's all sorts of things we can do to kind of, spice it up a little bit. And we can actually, let's do one that's a little spicier. I'm going to do spicier because I think it'll be more fun. So I'm going to come in here. Trump was not very spicy today. So I'm going to say spicy. I don't know if that's how you spell
Molly,
it. Yeah.
We do have a question from ND. Is
Ooh, thank you.
voice for each different persona?
So you could use a different voice for each different persona for sure. What I like to do in this is I'm going to create content that I'm going to put out on our social media, and it's going to like mix it up. So the hot mess mom is like, I have an ideal client who is a hot mess mom. I have for my dad's lumber company, they serve architects. So we used architects as a voice there. And what you'll find is you'll start to realize like which voice really starts to get you. And you can also like, play with this a little more in depth inside ChatGPT. But for us, this is about creating content really quickly. Valley Girl would be amazing, right? So really this part is about playing. And you'll see like networking is like a muscle, use it or lose it. I'll grab that one. I am going to try Valley Girl because I think that'd be fun. So Valley Girl, we'll see if that picks up on this. And really like for me, this is all about playing and seeing where you can find the things that you feel will really resonate. And what you're going to do is after you create this content, you're going to see how it performs. And so you're going to start creating, oh, look at this. Like networking is like a buffet for your business. The more you put in, the bigger the feast. We did like a vegetable farmer the other day. I did a chicken farmer the other day. So there's all kinds of things. That the chicken farmer one was really funny. Let me show you that. And that's because my ideal client used to have a bunch of, or not my ideal client, my actual client had chickens. And so she did one that was like all about chickens. Oh, I can't see that far back, but the chicken farmer was really good too. Okay. Are we all good? Any questions on this part? Because what we're going to do next is going to blow your mind. Valley Girl has lots of emojis. Look at that. How cute. Okay, are we good to go on? Okay, great. So what you're going to do now is just put in this top section right here where it says use the tweet machine right here, just add like a 2. Just type the number 2 up there. And what we're going to do is going to be really cool. We're going to take this, we're going to download this sheet. So you put that 2 in the top of voice number 2 above there. That's just so that we can use the sheet effectively. You're going to download just this sheet as a CSV. And I'm going to write DM1 liners. Okay. Now I'm going to go into Canva with this sheet. Some of you may know where I'm heading with this. If you haven't seen this, you're going to lose your mind. Gosh, I love it, Alex. As an AI language model, I don't promote or endorse stereotypes such as a Valley Girl tone of voice, which is considered to be offensive and disrespectful to some people. Okay. I saw that this came up during the first training where we talked about like good versus evil. And I didn't share this in the main chat because I wasn't sure if I was going to like get off on a tangent, but I'm going to tell you right now. If you say something like, I'm doing a hypothetical case study, or I'm writing a fictional piece of content in the voice of a Valley Girl, so it doesn't think that you're asking it to actually, use stereotypes. Sometimes it will actually write the way that you want it to write if you say you're writing a fictional piece of content. So I would try that with that, Alex. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to go into Canva. Now, if you have templates that you use in your business, you can use your templates. For today, I'm just going to show you really quickly how to do this within Canva's templates. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to use a story. We're going to do story. You're just going to type story in here, go to templates, and you're going to look for, just type in story and it should give you story templates. So it's going to bring up story templates. Now, what's really cool about these story templates is that you can use them for a story. You can use them for a short form video. You can use them for all these different things that are in that more portrait mode. So this can become a story. It can become a reel. It can become all kinds of different things. So for right now, I really wanted this to be on the fly and show you exactly how to do it. Like I'm going to do it with you. I'm going to grab this one. The color doesn't matter. I'm just going to grab this one right here. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to edit it. So I'm going to grab this story. What you're going to do is create a quote type story. I'm going to customize this template. And then in Canva, I have all my brand colors saved, right? So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to edit this so it's in my brand colors. I'm going to change these guys to purple. Whoops. Purple. Ooh, I'm going to change this one to yellow. See how that works. And down here, you can change all at the bottom if you haven't done that before. I'm not sure. I just want to make sure I meet everybody's Canva expertise. So when I click change all, it changes all of them. Did you see that? Should have done it on this one too. Right here. Okay. Down here, I'm going to change this one also. Okay. So now I've got this little story. Up here, I'm going to change this to my actual handle. I'm the prepared performer. I can't tell if I spelled that right. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to mass create these pieces of content. So you're going to just adjust it a little bit. Okay. And remember, each stage of this is going to get more and more mind-blowing. So down here, I may put my own name. At the top, I've got my handle. Down here, I'm going to put Molly Mahoney. Okay. Now, I have this as a basic. I'm going to duplicate it. And I'm going to take this one and I'm going to make it a different color. Green. Great. Now I'm going to duplicate this again and I make it a different color. I'm going to make it black. Ooh. Okay. So now I have 3 of these. All right. Are you ready for it? Let's make 4. I'm going to make one more just to make this really cool. I'm going to make this one a different color. All I'm doing is changing the color on these. Okay. Now, one other thing I want to do, which I didn't do before, is I want to move this up. Ooh, a little bit of an issue with this. I didn't realize this has 3 different text boxes. So for right now, I'm going to just delete this one. I'm going to keep that. I'm just going to use the middle text box. So I should have done that before, but this is real on the fly. Okay, I'm just going to move it to the top and you'll see why in a second. So if your template has several different text boxes, for this one, we're only going to use one text box. Okay, now I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. Are you ready for it? We're here. Now, inside, these templates are ready to go. Down on the bottom of Canva, there's an app section. And inside this app section, you'll see a bunch of different things here. On mine, it's over on the side because I use it a lot, but you're going to click bulk create. So if you see it, you'll see it either right here or you'll see it down on the side. Okay. We're going to click bulk create, and then I'm going to upload that CSV. So I'm going to search for DM one-liners, which is what I called that. I'm going to upload this CSV. Now you could do this in 4 different voices. We only did 2 voices today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to match this right here. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to right click, go to connect data. And I'm basically matching these cells with this text box. So I'm going to go right here, connect data, match this. I'm going to go to the, oops, I started at the bottom just to keep you on your toes. Connect data, match with number 2. I'm going to come back up here, connect data, match with number 1 again. If you had 4 voices, you could match it with 4. Connect data. Oops. I missed one of them. You have to make sure that it has that, that it actually shows that. I don't know if I can connect it to more than one place. Usually if I do 4, I'll have more than 4 on there. Let me see if I can. Is it going to deselect it? No, that worked. Great. So for some reason I have to like click slowly. Just make sure you click slow enough so that it actually brings the little brackets in there. All right. Are you ready for the next step? All we do is we hit continue. It is going to create, oh shoot, I forgot to show you one really important piece. Over here, do you see this little, the little bullet point right there? We want to delete those before we download it, which I didn't do. We want to remove all those bullet points. So I'm going to come in here. I'm going to grab that little bullet point right there. I'm going to Command F. I'm going to search for those bullet points, and I'm going to remove all of them on this sheet. For right now, don't worry about that. You can go back and edit it as we're doing this. But if you had those little bullet points, we want to replace all with nothing. When you do that, it removes all of those bullet points. Everybody track that? I know I jumped around a little bit. Okay. Then in here, where we were in Canva, where did I go? Here. It's all in there, but see those bullet points? We don't want those to be in there. Okay. Now here, generate 32 pages. Now we have all of these quote cards, which are automatically created. We created 128 quote cards in literal seconds. Had you seen that before? Okay, now remember, if we go back to this, we spent all that time on ideation, some time on research, the creation piece, we just Harry Pottered, and now we spend time on the editing. So we're going to come in here, and now let me show you an example of the cowboy one that I did for my clients. In here, these are our cowboys. What I did was before my call with them to go over some content, I prepped this and I said, let's go through and which ones do we like? How do we want to adjust these? All aboard the sustainability train, chugging down the track with Urban Lumber leading the way, right? Now this I can download, I can use as a story, I can turn into a reel really easily by just posting this and finding music to go with it. So I sat with my clients and I was like, let's go through them. Now, for whatever reason, these pictures of my cousin Dan, this is my cousin Danny. What was really funny is that the voice of a tree kept saying thing about like accessories, like purses and stuff. So every voice that came from my cousin Danny was about a purse. We deleted most of them, but it was okay because we were able to come up with 30 really good quote cards super easily. Questions so far? Yeah, and Canva has music. Good point. So if I want to do that in here, one thing that I love to do is just go straight into the Facebook dashboard. You can actually add music that's a trending sound from within the Facebook dashboard without, or the Creator Studio, whatever they're calling it now, without needing to get it on your phone. But you can turn these into videos right inside Canva. So if you go back, like let's say, you know, I download just one of these. So here, like, can I get a witness? I'm going to take this guy. And maybe I want to make it a little more personal. I'm going to change the size on this. And I'm going to add in, I'm going to take off the hashtag. So it makes it super easy. I go here. And then I'm going to just add in elements that are, sorry, uploads that I already have, and add in like my client, Jamie, my friend, Jamie, edit photo, remove the background. And then I can just add Jamie into this thing right here. Now watch. And I'm just going to do this as an example. So I have this here. She's like, can I get a witness? Networking can help you achieve incredible results, right? Don't be scared of it. So I've got this here. Now I download just that piece right there super quickly. This is number 29. So I'm going to go here, unselect everything, download number 29, which is that page right here. And then I'm going to bring just that image into a reel template. So it's going to download. And then I'm going to go back over here and look at my reels. So you can, you know, use your own fancy templates, but if you just search reels, okay, this looks cool. Whatever. I'm going to grab this, customize this template. I'm going to delete some of these things. And now I'm going to upload that image of Jamie. So I'm going to upload a file, the thing that I just created. If you want to create the whole thing here in Canva, here you go. I make this the background of this, right? So I can delete the background, put it right here, and super easily, I'm going to arrange this, move it to the back a little bit. Cute, right? Now it's a little video. I could add music to it, whatever I want to do. So this is the first phase of this. Anybody have any questions, or can we move on to the next phase? I mean, it's really good. This is really cool, but we're going to get even cooler. Questions? We're good? Okay. So the next phase of this, now you've got 30 reels, which you can schedule out. So simple, getting cooler. Now we're going to move to the next one. So the next one is questions. And this is something that actually one of our clients asked Jasper to add in. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab a belief and we're going to add in engaging questions. This is an example. We're going to go back to our tree of beliefs. I'm going to pick this one about helping others. Okay. And I'm going to go in here. Really cool. Inside Jasper, there is engaging questions. Okay. So topic, helping others. And I'm going to kind of adjust this. I'm just going to go with helping others. As a business owner, so you can make a bigger impact. The audience is online entrepreneurs, tone of voice, factual yet witty. That will work. Now, what you're going to do with these is instantly, what are some businesses you can start to help others? Okay. How can you make your business, make sure your business is helping others in a way that's profitable for you? Why is it important to help others as a business owner? How do you find the right people to help with your business? I'm not going to judge these, but I just make sure it's kind of on the right track. And I'm going to just copy some of these into here. Now you can use these in that same thing that I did inside Canva to create posts like that. But what's really cool is that on a lot of social media platforms, these perform even better, even if you don't put a graphic with it. So these are now questions that you can use as a poll. It's a question that you can use, you know, in a story and then say, like, yes, do you agree? Yes or no, right? Like, what are your thoughts on this? Reply to me. By using that reply to me inside stories, you're getting people into DMs. You can go into Facebook communities and start to ask these questions. You can go on LinkedIn and ask these questions. So I'm not going to take much more time in there, except to say that you can add things like hot mess mom and come up with some pretty fun questions in here that you can then add to unlock that social triangle. Okay. This is like super easy. And you're just going to copy them and then fill this section up with questions. Are we good to move on? That one's easy. You can use them a lot of different places. Okay. Now we're going to move into short form content. So for me, the thing that works best for short form content, and this is what we use all the time for our clients who are like, I don't want to create short form content. I'm stuck on short form content. I'm going to show you something that if you have not seen this, your mind is going to actually pop out of your head. So what you're going to do is you're going to start by creating the title, the description, and that's it. The title and the description. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into Jasper. I don't know why this has all these weird lines on it. It's an authenticity indicator. Ignore the weird lines. Okay, we're going to go back into Jasper. And the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take that belief and we're going to go to the video titles. So video titles. Again, you can put this into ChatGPT. I just like that this is templatized. I'm going to use this belief because I think it's funny. Human connection is more effective than cold DM creepers. The keyword to rank for, if you know that you have a word that you want in your title, put that there. Tone of voice, factual yet witty. We're going to come up with some titles. Connection is more effective than creepy DMs. Here's why. The science of human connection and why it's more effective than creepy DMs. Human connection is more effective, right? Why making a connection? Why connection beats creepers every time, right? Okay, so these are cool. You could also take this into ChatGPT and say something like this. Thank you. Please create me, please write a series of clickbait titles that I can use for short form videos that will get Sarah interested in social sales stars, right? So I'm not even going to use my beliefs. I've already seasoned this here. Unlock the full potential of your business, right? So we're just going to grab some of these. These are very promotion-y, which I don't really like. So just know that this sometimes will work really well inside ChatGPT as well. Okay, now I've got these titles. I'm just going to paste these titles here. Oops, I didn't copy them. I'm going to go to Jasper, grab these titles. Again, I'm just going to grab several of them, paste them here. Then I'm going to grab one that I really like. So let's say I go with connection is more effective than creepy DMs. Here's why. I'm going to use that title. I'm then going to go in Jasper into the PAS framework. So you can ask ChatGPT to write in a PAS framework. I really appreciate the Jasper template for this because of the other like layers that it has in addition to GPT-4. So I can go in here and I can say the title I'm actually going to put into the company product name section. So I'm taking this PAS framework and I'm twisting it a little bit to get it to give me really great descriptions for my videos. So the company product name is going to be connection is more effective than creepy DMs. Here's why, which may not seem very intuitive, but I promise you it works. Then you're going to say the product description is a video about the fact that connection is more effective than cold DM creepers. Okay. And I'm going to delete that. Here's why. And I may say something like, this is for, and then add in your ideal client here because it doesn't have the ideal client section here. So this is for a business owner who is overworked and overwhelmed and wants to have more fun while making sales. Okay, so that's like my ideal client information. Okay, factual yet witty. Let's go. So what we have been able to do with this for our clients, for those of you that are agency owners, is we can take these and give them an entire sheet filled with titles and descriptions for their videos. And I'm going to show you what we're going to do next. So problem, it's hard to stay top of mind with your leads and customers when you're always busy. You don't have time for small talk. So how do you connect without being creepy? Agitate. Most people try and connect by sending a direct message on social media, but this can often come across as creepy or salesy. Solution: connection is more effective than creepy DMs. By taking time to connect with your leads and customers in a meaningful way, you'll be able to create real relationships that will help you make more sales. That works. I'm going to grab that. I'm going to put that right here inside this sheet. Remember, we're batch creating this stuff. Now, from here, I'm going to delete problem, agitate, solution. And then I'm going to recopy this again because of what I'm going to do next. Okay. So if you are like, that's a great description, and how do I actually create the video? Are you ready? Okay. I am here. I'm going to go full screen on you for just a moment. Okay. So this is me with my phone. Okay. Watch what I'm going to do. I know that even for myself as a video coach, short form video can be really overwhelming. And there's a lot of reasons why. We're not going to talk about that right now. There's a lot of reasons why. I put my phone in video mode. I'm not even using a tripod. It's been a long week, so I'm wearing a hat. I'm going to say, it can be hard to stay top of mind with your ideal connections, with your ideal clients. And I know that reaching out to people via direct message can seem so overwhelming and time consuming. I read the first line. Then I'm going to do the next one. Most people try to connect by sending a DM on social media, but this can come across as creepy or salesy. Now I'm going to record myself saying it. Most people will go send a bunch of DMs to cold DM and be a cold DM creeper, and that's not going to be as effective. In between each line in this content, I am just going to read it out loud and I'm going to record a little clip. Okay. So in here, these clips are here, and then I'm going to move because that's going to help to get attention. So sometimes I'll hold the camera up with myself looking the other way, and then I'll move into the camera. So now for the third one, connection is more effective than creepy DMs. Okay, ready? I'm going to go like this. Dude, connection is more effective than creepy DMs. And I'm just recording these in little tiny snippets, but all of the content is written there. And Jeff asked a great question. I just want to be clear. You're taking the generated ideas and using them as is. You don't ever edit, screen, or remove generated ideas. What I'm doing is I'm putting them in here first, and then I'm coming back and editing. So I'm taking this as an idea, but I'm batch filling this sheet with things that I can come to. So now in here, like I said on this sheet, the editing process is what you're going to do next to make sure that you're not just posting this exactly as you get it. You're kind of finessing it. But I'm coming in here and I'm just getting it listed in here before I come back and kind of zhuzh it. That makes sense on the zhuzhing side of it? I know you guys know how to zhuzh, so I don't want to take too much time on the zhuzhing because I want to show you how to like mass do it. Okay, so do you see how this can be so much easier for creating those videos when people feel like I've got to have all of this stuff, ahead of time. I've got to write a big old script. You don't have to. You read that first line, you put your own spin on it, and you read it out loud. Then you put them all together in a short form video. You don't even need to do jump cuts because you've stopped and paused between each thing, and you're creating the jump cuts with your own face. Now, for those people who either don't want to create the videos or whose clients don't want to create the videos, do you want to see how you can create these videos with AI where you never actually have to go on camera? Because I can show you that too. Okay. So in here, now we've already created this whole list of our short form videos, which can become reels, all this kind of stuff. Again, to Jeff's question, zhuzh. I'm not going to zhuzh today because we're here and we're limited time, and I want to make sure we get to all the AI stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to 11labs.io. Now, what I did inside 11 Labs, have you guys played with 11 Labs on here yet? I forget. I haven't seen it, but Mark, have you guys used 11 Labs yet in here?
No, it's been mentioned several times, but nobody's done it live. So
okay,
you're the first.
Amazing. Okay. So what we're going to do is I have already entered, because I didn't have a lot of time and I just wanted to see what was possible. This was maybe a month ago. I found a video that I had on my computer, which ironically was from TNC in December of 2020. So when it was filmed at the Marriott and there was like all those video screens, like the Zoom screen thing, I found a reel that I had of myself that was on my computer. Now I was speaking on stage, so my voice was a little more like oomphy than maybe usual. I used that oomphy version of myself and I created a cloned Molly Mahoney voice. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it in here. Now, one zhuzh that I always make, to Jeff's point, I don't like to say ever that anything is hard. I like to say it can be hard. So Molly Mahoney would never say it's hard. It can be hard to stay top of mind, because I want to instill the belief that everything can be easy if you have the right system in place and the right mindset. So I'm going to zhuzh this a little bit, right? Most people are trying to correct blah, 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 creepy or salesy. I like this. Watch what I'm going to write in here. I'm gonna tell you that's not the way to get real results. Okay. Now watch what's going to happen. Generate. It is going to create a little, oh my gosh, there it is. Wait, hold on. I got to play it for you. It's already created. It's already created. Okay. Watch. You've been listening to me for about an hour. Here we go.
Message on social.
I'm going to turn it up a little bit.
It can be hard to stay top of mind with your leads and customers when you're always busy. You don't have time for small talk, so how can you connect without being creepy? Most people try to connect by sending a direct message on social media, but this can often come across as creepy or salesy. I'm going to tell you, that's not the way to get real results. Connection is more effective than creepy DMs. By taking the time to connect with your leads and customers in a meaningful way, you'll be able to create real relationships that will help you make more sales.
Could you hear it? Okay. Now, here is the thing that came up for me when I did this. The first thing that came up to me, and I have done this in Descript, and I actually have found that this is better than Descript for two reasons. You can adjust the voice settings on this. So you can adjust in here the clarity, you can like make it low or high on how similar you want it to be. You can adjust the stability. The one thing that I have not seen that you can't, like, that I've not been able to adjust is my dang lisp, because it took my lisp and now it is there all the time. So I'm going to create a new version of myself that actually is more clear on my S's, which is difficult for me with my fake teeth. Okay. Now, yeah, exactly. So the scary thing is that you could take someone else's voice. All it does is it says, like, please confirm that you have to approve that you have permission. But remember back in the day, some of you may not be old enough, but remember back in the day when you would like have the guy from NPR do your voice message? This is exactly what that does. So a couple of things that I've done in here that help. I've used the phrase, I'm going to tell you. And if you notice, it kind of says, I'm going to tell you, right? So it kind of says that in a kind of fun, sassy way. I've also done something like this. So I changed the punctuation. So like that's, watch, we'll do it again. Not the way to get way to get real results. And I'm going to do an exclamation point here. Now listen, it's going to change the way that it sounds. Oh, I should have changed the top part also, but I didn't. And Chandler Bing. Okay.
Stay top of mind with your leads and customers when you're always busy. You don't have time for small talk, so how can you connect without being creepy? Most people try to connect by sending a direct message on social media, but this can often come across as creepy or salesy. I'm going to tell you, that's not the way to get real results. Connection is more.
So it does, like, that's not the way to get real results, right? You can even go like this. That's not right. And it will change the way that it actually reads this out loud. You can also adjust this and it will make like the tone of voice a little lower, a little higher. The more that you play with the actual way that it comes out. I played with mine and this is the one that I kind of liked the most. I do notice that my timbre is a little higher. All I had to do to train it, like Descript, you have to put like 30 minutes in. I put 1 minute, a 1 minute video that we had used as a reel, and it pulled it from that 1 minute video. It's crazy. Do we want to do questions on this?
Yes, we have not too much time left, but you know, there haven't been too many questions. You've answered.
Shoot, what time everything. Are we done?
4.
Oh my gosh, I thought we had 30 more minutes. Okay. Can I keep going quickly to show you the whole thing?
Yeah. Fire through.
Okay. Shiitake mushrooms. I don't know why my brain was thinking we had an extra half hour. Okay, so that's the way that you can do short form videos. I'm going to go real quick and then I'll take questions. This is the long form videos. All I use is, now I personally can talk for hours, obviously, and I don't really need this as much, but this can be a really effective thing for your clients. And if you're stuck on long form, I just use the one-shot blog post, and connection beats creepiness every time. Oh, this was another one that I used. 5 questions you should never ask your mentor was one. Let me find history in here. Shoot. Let's try this really quick. So I'm going to do connection beats creepiness every time, generate. And what's really cool with this is that if you put it into a spreadsheet the way that we have it, you can super easily repurpose this content into other things. So you can use it as a template for a long form video. You can also then, so watch this. I'm not even going to read it. I'm going to copy it in here. Remember, I am going to go back and judge later, but just for speed, I'm going to paste it right here. And I'm going to come in, I'm going to delete these blank things here. Again, this is just kind of getting it started. We're going to come back in and edit it later. I'm going to delete these blank lines. Now, I didn't know about this until just recently when I was trying to see how can I really do this quickly. I'm going to copy this whole section that I just put here, copy. Then I'm going to click into this cell right here. I'm going to right click and paste special and paste transposed. Now it automatically took this. So I forgot to delete one of these spaces, but it automatically took it. And I'm going to delete this cell, shift things left. Now everything is, which is a little bit of like cleaning up, everything is in its proper place. So I've got the title here, my introduction or my description for my video, my bullet points, and my snippets. The crazy thing that you can do with this is that thing that I did inside Canva earlier, you can do that with a template for a carousel post and match each of those cells into a carousel post. Why would you want to use carousel posts? Because Instagram said they are giving more attention to carousel posts these days. So you can batch create carousel posts. If you have templates set up ahead of time, go in and zhuzh them. And then you've got all of these templates. I've got a bunch of stuff on repurposing in there, which you can see inside the sheet, but I just want to make sure we have time to like actually close things out. My favorite thing on the repurposing side real quick is just with testimonials, and there's a little format for it in there. With testimonials, if you organize your testimonials, you can put them into ChatGPT and say, take this transcript, please summarize it for me, give me bullet points based on it, write a creative story about this person and how this program changed their life. And it will write emails that you can use as case studies based on testimonial videos. It's amazing. Okay. Do we want to take questions? I know we have 3 minutes left.
No, that was fantastic. And there's only a few questions, so I think we'll be fine. Let's see. Have a question here, and having a audio video background. I can totally hear the AI voice with their background. We tested this and did get great conversions using AI voices like this. Okay. So Victoria, sorry, this is actually a really good point for you to create content around that and explain why people need to actually, like, I don't know what you're selling, but for me, that's exactly what I would say. And I would say, if you don't want to be on camera, you can do this. However, I'm going to teach you how to be confident on camera so that you can actually make more effective videos. So I actually agree with you. I just know for some of our clients, they're like really struggling with it. And so this is a way to kind of up the content creation. However, the best thing that you can do is be more human. And that's really the whole point of my business, is to use these AI tools to be more human. So I totally agree with you. Nice. Let's see. How did you train 11 Labs with your voice?
Yeah, all I did was upload that 1 minute video. That's it. It took literally,
just so everybody knows, I just went through this whole process with Descript, and I was on there for 40 minutes, and I'm still not super happy with it. So,
and that's what I had done in the past. So this was really cool.
All right. Let's see. How would you generate a video out of the voice recording?
So then you would take it and you could literally, you could put that, there's a bunch of things that you can do. You can use, video. I want to show you this really quick. We were supposed to do video today too.
Yeah, you have time for that, because
is that okay?
That's one of our key tools. Yeah.
Okay.
So about next week.
Yay. Okay, good. I'll like give a teaser and then you'll really want to show up next week. So two things that you can do. One is you can take that same thing that I showed you where I had the picture of Jamie O'Connor with the quote on it, and you could read that quote out loud. That can become the sound for your Instagram video. You just load that audio file into Canva and it goes over your video, which is like super, super easy. The other thing that we are obsessed with right now on the repurposing side of things, we used to use Descript to go through, but our biggest pain point was in creating short form videos out of a long form video. To search for the small little nuggets can be so tricky. So I put this one in here today. I haven't even looked at it. This is Alessio. I don't know if you know him. He's amazing. Used to work with Mindvalley and he does challenges now. He sent me this video of us doing an interview. Watch, fireworks happen. Out of a 45-minute video, it automatically created all of these little snippets. Based on AI, it's going in and grabbing these little snippets. And I can come in here. If I click on preview clip, Molly Mahoney is one of the biggest experts in organic social media marketing. One of her videos got over 39 million views completely organically. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can use social media to bring people to your challenge. I mean, that's just him introducing me. But if I go in here, let's say I want to use this template. I go in here, I can crop off the end of it and say, do you want to see my interview with Alessio? Right. And I can set in here, you guys will talk about this next week, I think, but I can set in here the subtitles. I can make them like this, and then the video is ready to go.
Hey everyone, I'm super excited to be here today for this incredible interview with one person that I've known for now 2-3 years, and I've been incredibly amazed by her. She's one of the most amazing women in marketing. I absolutely adore.
In literally seconds, and I didn't have to go search for anything. It's amazing.
So awesome. Yeah, I found that too. I'm like, there's no way this works. It's
No,
not going to find good clips, and it totally does. It doesn't.
And not all of them, but a lot of them are. Like if you want to, like I said, if you want to just get to the content quickly, it is pretty dang powerful.
Well, just so everybody knows, in terms of what you would have to do if you load this into like Premiere or any other tool, is you'd have to watch the whole thing, and then you'd have to cut it, and then you'd have to adjust everything, and it takes like 3 hours for one clip, and it did everything in 5 minutes. So
it will, even when you're screen sharing. So like if you, let's say you're a SaaS company, and you want to like screen share your tool, it will actually crop like the screen share where you're screen sharing and put it into a top and a bottom. So if you have like an interview, it'll make it so that your screen share can go on the bottom and your picture can go on the top. Which
and
is
if
like,
you follow Digital Marketer, you've probably seen some of these videos from the podcast, because I never re-listen to the podcast after I shoot them. But they grab the clips. It's fantastic. Okay, a couple more. ND, we will go a little bit over time, not too much. Just a smidgen over time.
Okay.
Let's see. Victoria said, recording your voices with your iPhone is super quick, but understand. Oh, is that just a response, I think?
Yeah.
I'll skip that one. Last one. All right. I would love to see a demo on reusing testimonials. Can you share this with us? Any process for, etc.
So I'm going to grab one. And actually, this is great because I realized in the sheet that I shared with you, I didn't add, there's a couple things to add to the end of it. So you'll want to add this to the end of your sheet. So this is my actual testimonial system with my team, that if someone, so this is a testimonial that I'm grabbing just from our member, Charmaine. I feel like I have a better one maybe, but here, let's do this. Okay. So this is like a big testimonial. Oh my freaking God, that was easy, right? So the way that we're doing this is on our calls, we have our members share wins, and then we use Grain. So Grain is a tool that will record your videos, and we can separate out highlights. So I have a team member who does every mastermind call. We share our wins. She's collecting these wins, and then I can take this, and I'm going to grab the person's name here as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into ChatGPT. I'll screen share. And I'm going to say, can you help me turn a testimonial into content if I share the transcript here? Yes, of course. Please share the transcript. Great. So then I'm going to say this is from, I'm going to give it a little context from Christine, who is a member of our Social Sales Stars Mastermind. Please confirm that this is enough. Whoops. Text, geez, sorry, to get started. Yes, I can work with this text to help you. Here's an example of how you can turn it into content. So, right, so it's already starting to do this for me. Now, what I'm going to do is please summarize her wins into bullet points. Like I'm going to say, please summarize. How do you spell summarize? Please give me bullet points. So of her wins. Certainly, here are some bullet points. Now watch this. Literally, like if you think of content that you would love to create around a testimonial, great. Please write an email case study highlighting her win as a case study. I spell wrong and it still works. Now you can get more in depth like you guys have been doing with, you know, like telling it what voice you want it to be in and all that kind of stuff. But if you have already done your brand messaging work that you did in the first couple of trainings and you have that in here, you can use your voice and it will keep pulling on that. And then this, I talk like a cuckoo bird in my emails. So I always come back and zhuzh and use weird shmama words because that's what I do. But this is a great starting point. Christine recently participated in this, blah, 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 blah. And then I can adjust it and say, write this more like a hot mess mom. Holy guacamole, did you hear about Christine's sales success? Hey there, hot mess mom. I've got some exciting news to share with you today. Now, we had our client event happening recently, and I said, I recently took my clients on a pretend cruise in the backyard. Here are some wins from our event. And the email subject line that it came up with was holy ship, which I was so excited about. So that's just like a little example of how you can put a testimonial in and get content right away.
Wow, that's fantastic, Molly. I think this entire session has been just jam-packed with information. Like no time for anybody to even ask questions because it's like, oh crap, let me make a note of that Jasper feature I've never heard of. Oh, quick note about Jasper to everyone. I am working out. I was on email with Austin over there at Jasper. So he said he could do the 25% off for 3 months. They're putting together a landing page and the discount today. So we'll share that with the community tomorrow. If you don't hear the link, then bug Michelle a lot.
Bug her a lot. And I'll mention it to Jasper. I'll talk to Jasper myself. I'll mention it to Austin too, because I want to make sure you guys get that. Oh, and I know that like this may feel like, oh my gosh, because I thought we had 30 more minutes. I don't know how I thought that. But if you're feeling like, I'm glad Mark said something. If you're feeling like, yeah, okay, that totally works. I want you to know, just play. Right. And then this is really what I see as like an action plan from this is to set your targets and your goals. You do short form to long form using that spreadsheet. And then you can actually repurpose that long form once you record it back into this stuff and put it into, 11 Labs, Descript, Pictory to be able to create even more content. And if you move forward on that spreadsheet, you'll see this live video repurposing sheet. This is what we have used since 2018 to create all these little pieces of content from one longer form piece of content. And AI helps it to create all of it.
Wow. Well, that was fantastic. Everybody get ready for the recording because you're probably going to want to watch it a couple times. The sheet is awesome. I don't know if you see my stuff, Molly, but you organize content the exact same way I do. And I'm like, oh my gosh, how have we not talked before?
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about that. That's amazing.
I'm like, oh, I thought I was the only one that used spreadsheets like that. So no, it's very validating. So thank you so much, Molly. Thank you everyone for attending. Sorry we went a little bit over. I think you hopefully appreciate it because that was fantastic. And where can people learn more about you, Molly?
Yeah. So if you know what we actually have over on Instagram, Facebook is my main platform, but on Instagram at The Prepared Performer, we've done this really cool thing where we've got like a whole ChatGPT list of prompts as one of our top posts there. So you'll see that on Instagram at The Prepared Performer. We've got loads of prompts in there diving into more about this, and send me a message there. And that's like a good way to reach out just as a human being, which I like humans. So it's good.
I think everybody can tell, it's pretty obvious. But thank you, Molly. That was a fantastic session. So much good info. We'll be sure if you do have questions, go ahead and ask them in Slack. We'll get to them, but Molly covered everything, which is
I'm in Slack also. So if there's other things, I know I went super fast thinking I had an extra 30 minutes, but we're bending time here. So it's
yes. But yeah, there's no excuses for everybody not to show your work. So there's tons of things you could do. Just try to show something. I'm definitely going to get back into video because we have so much long form content that we do literally nothing with. So,
and it's awesome to pass on to a team member. Like at that point, you can bring in a team member, and our biggest struggle has been to find someone who could find those little clips. So it gives them a good starting point. Which is really helpful.
Well, that's really, and once you get going on, you kind of see like, oh, I wish it was like this. Then you'll actually get into the editing process and you'll be more interested in making content anyway. So it's all good. But at the end of the day, done is better than none. And there's no excuse with Molly and AI.
There you go. Hooray. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you all. The video will be posted within 24 hours, probably sooner. And be sure to show your work. And thank you again, Molly. We're back on Monday. And Monday it's not Jeff Hunter. It is somebody else. Michelle, do you know who's on Monday? I'm pulling it up right now, but do you have it on the top? Oh, no, I pulled it up. Without the name. Yes. But it is email and page copy. I'll have to look up the SME, but a very vital lesson. So don't miss that as well. And thank you all. Sorry we went over, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.